Will the next big thing be born in Louisville? We think so. This is the local TV series that hopes to find funding for your big ideas. Today, meet a local woman who hopes to strike it rich with shoes that make you feel like $1 million without the big price tag.
Put them on social media and they sell like that.
And this man is hunting for funding for his idea that he says is a game changer for sportsmen.
I'm a disabled veteran and I was having a hard time hunting.
And I would think, being a veteran, that there would be some resources within the military available to you.
All that and a new invention for moms with infants.
Just about every mom I've ever mentioned this to so far has said, oh my gosh, yes.
Right now on Louisville's new all-local TV series, Dream Funders. I'm Melissa Fraser, and we're at the Fraser History Museum in downtown Louisville, where we hope to make someone's dream come true. Today, the ideas range from a new product that lets mom and baby shower together.
Mom and dad, in some cases, to shower with their hands free, and the baby is still in the shower with them.
And an invention to help the handicapped hunt.
I made it in my garage. Come on, give me a break.
And some new shoe bling that hopes to have this local woman saying cha-ching.
It's just glitz and glam, and they just kind of flock.
We'll meet our dreamers over the next hour, but first, let's meet the funders. First, Darren King, an IU honors grad who has the Midas touch when it comes to local businesses. He once turned a failing local startup into a $30 million company. And Tony Holland is here. He's a Louisville native known for his success in the tax service business. And now, along with the rest of our panel, he helps manage a $4.5 million investment fund. Marty McClellan is with us. He's the chairman of the Enterprise Angels funding team, while managing $280 million in accounts and hedge funds. Finally, Doug White, who has a long career as a CEO for big-time companies all over the world. Now, he's hoping to find a new one to fund right here at home. Okay, let's see if we can make a match. Let's meet our next dreamer. She's a new mom and an inventor who's hoping to give birth to a new baby product.
Hello, my name is Erica Barola, and I'm currently a stay-at-home mom with my 19-month-old daughter, Sophia. And today I'm here to pitch you a product idea called the Shower Sitter. That is a shower chair for babies that allows mom and dad, in some cases, to shower with their hands free, and the baby is still in the shower with them. All right. So when my daughter was born, I quickly learned that bathing the baby is not actually the hard part when you're a new parent. It's bathing yourself when you're caring for the new baby, when there's nobody there to help you. So my husband works long hours, and he was gone most of the time when, daytime. So I realized that it's a challenge to bathe, to get in the shower with a small infant. So moms come up with lots of creative ways, but my daughter would scream no matter what. As soon as I got ready to step foot in the shower, she started screaming, and she screamed until I stepped out. And that's pretty upsetting for parents. And so she eventually just cried and cried and cried so hard she made herself vomit and was choking on the vomit, and obviously I have to get out of the shower and make sure her airway is clear. It's very upsetting. It's a real problem. So eventually, we try to get workarounds, and I would just bathe and try to wash my hair when my husband was home, or work around it. And when I did a little bit of research, I realized I'm not the only one that had this problem. It's very common. Like, there were pages and pages of things that you can find on the internet about new moms, particularly, that struggle with this. What to do with the baby while you shower. So here are a couple other experiences from new moms. There were days when I didn't shower. I would shower with them at times, but when they're babies, they can be slippery. Otherwise, I'd wait until my husband was home to help. I shower while baby naps, depending on what my baby's napping was like. That sometimes meant going long times between showers. I would have loved the ability to have felt safe with my babies in the shower with me while they were awake, because nap time was precious work time, and I resented having to use it to bathe. It's a mom that worked from home that struggled with that. Nap time is a short period every day, and if you have to use it to take a shower, it's used up. Here's another woman's experience. He would cry the entire time, which made it a very difficult and emotionally stressful situation for me, to the point where I didn't even want to shower unless I had someone to watch him. I would have given anything to have had a good solution to be able to shower in peace with my baby right there. So, and these are just a small sample of what you find when you search this online. So I started to think, what would be the solution? If my daughter could have been right in there with me, she would have been happy. She wanted to be close to me, and when I couldn't, and I was in the shower, that separation is what upset her. So I sketched out some ideas, and the solution is this innovative baby shower chair design. It allows mom to shower freely with the baby close enough to touch, maintain eye contact. They're right there in the shower with you. You have free hands, so you can wash your hair, shave your legs, all of those wonderful things that you take for granted before you have a baby. So baby's happy, safe, and squeaky clean, and mom's relieved that she doesn't have to wear a baseball cap for the third day in a row, which is reality for many, many new moms.
It's a big idea, but will it get backing from any of our funders?
So I guess I don't quite get how it works.
Our panel of funders weighs in when Dream Funders returns. I'm Melissa Fraser. Welcome to Dream Funders, the show that hopes to match big ideas with big bucks. We match the dreamers with the funders. Earlier, we met Erica Barola, who has an idea for a new product that lets new moms look after their children even when they're in the shower.
Today I'm here to pitch you a product idea called the Shower Sitter. That is a shower chair for babies that allows mom and dad, in some cases, to shower with their hands free, and the baby is still in the shower with them. My daughter would scream no matter what. As soon as I got ready to step foot in the shower, she started screaming, and she screamed until I stepped out. And that's pretty upsetting for parents. And so she eventually just cried and cried and cried so hard she made herself vomit and was choking on the vomit, and obviously I have to get out of the shower and make sure her airway is clear. It's very upsetting. It's a real problem. So eventually, we try to get workarounds, and I would just bathe and try to wash my hair when my husband was home, or work around it. I believe the Shower Sitter will be on every baby registry because new moms need showers too. Happier babies, happier moms, good for everybody.
So I guess I don't quite get how it works. Do you have a sample? Do you have an actual product?
It's in an idea stage right now. So I do not have a prototype yet. I do have detailed sketches that, I don't want to reveal too much because it's in really early stages of development. But basically the design would attach to the tub wall, and the seat would swing out to outside the tub. It would sit about waist height. You put the baby in, strap it in with a harness, and then you step over and swing the baby into the shower. The baby's right there while you shower. It has toys that would dangle down to keep the baby entertained, like many baby toys do, baby features. And then it would also have a spray screen to keep the baby from getting blasted in the face with the shower if your shower is too small for that.
Made out of plastic?
The screen,
I mean, the whole thing.
the seat would be made out of plastic, yeah, a really sturdy, hard plastic.
And it would just stay in the tub.
It has a structure underneath, a post that would come up from the tub wall that attaches with a vice clamp, and then a swing arm that comes from that post that swings in and out of the shower, and the seat itself would swivel. It would be attached to a swiveling mechanism underneath it to where you could adjust it to where the baby was comfortable inside the shower.
So is it designed for a particular kind of tub, a particular size tub?
It would just, you would have to have a tub with a wall. Some people don't have actual tubs anymore or have just showers. Obviously, you have to have a tub that has a wall. And the specifics would be worked out with the product engineer, which is part of what I need the funding for, to work with the product engineer and really hammer out the details to make my design a reality.
What's on the market now?
There is basically, as far as options for bathing your child, you have baby bathtubs, which are your traditional tub, which does not solve the problem of the parent bathing, showering. You have baby tub seats where the child sits up in the bathtub, but it's not designed for the parent to shower while the baby's sitting on the floor. And also would not work when your baby's too small to hold their head up and sit up. So the baby shower seat doesn't help, the tub seat, I'm sorry, doesn't help with that. And then mesh slings, some moms do that where they actually carry the baby in on their body with a sling that's made out of mesh. So they shower and wash the baby at the same time. But obviously, that's not exactly ideal because that would be uncomfortable. And you also have soap and everything running on you that your baby's on your chest. So that's got its own risk with it.
What's your background? Do you have any background in product design or marketing?
My bachelor's degree is in business administration and finance, and my master's degree is in teaching. So that's my educational
And is the
background.
company just you at this point?
Yes, it's an idea stage. You know, that's the call. If you had a good idea, to come present it. And this is a great idea. And when I have mentioned this to moms, just about every mom I've ever mentioned this to so far has said, oh my gosh, yes, I would have ran to the store to buy that when my baby was little. And I would be one of those moms. If this product had existed when my daughter was small, I would have run to the store to buy it because it was one of the most stressful things about my daughter being very young. She was a very happy baby. She was easygoing, but when I had a shower, she screamed and screamed and screamed, and there was no way around it.
But you think $150, that sounds like a lot of money to me for a baby product. What other baby products sell for $150?
Oh my gosh, a lot of baby products sell for $150. There's so much on the market, and like swings, they have swings that sell for over $150. They have pack and plays that sell for more than $150. They have strollers that sell for far more than $150.
Why do you need the baby in the shower anyway? Why don't you just put them in a chair outside of the shower?
Well, that's what most moms have to resort to doing, and many moms have the same experience where their child just screams uncontrollably.
So what are your thoughts, guys? It's an idea stage, and I understand that, so
I mean, $250,000 is a lot of money for something I can't even get my arms around what it is. It's a very early stage idea to be talking about that much money. Usually ideas start this way with what we call friends and family money, just money that's close to either your money or people that are close to you. Might be $10,000 or $20,000 to create a prototype. And I would encourage you to do that, and I would also encourage you to think about reducing the cost, because at least to me $150 or $200 is a lot of money for this, and I would encourage you both to get a prototype and to think about cost.
To Marty's point, go get friends and family money, build a prototype, and then you can build some excitement. But just seeing a sketch is just hard.
I can understand that. It does take money to do those things, to meet with an engineer and to get a prototype. And so since we're right now one income family, since I'm at home with my daughter, that wasn't really an option for us. So I felt like the show was a perfect opportunity to get the idea out there, because it is, I feel it has the potential to explode. And I know that, you know, you're all gentlemen, you probably take like a 30-second shower, so you don't really know the struggle necessarily of trying to do all of the things that you have to do with the baby screaming at you the whole time. Mm-hmm. But it would be worth way more than $150 to most moms that I've talked to. And the market for baby care products is huge market. This is a totally innovative concept. You'll be seeing them out there, whether it's from me or somebody else. It's going to be in Babies R Us. So,
as a mother of 4 and a grandmother, a brand new grandmother, and one who buys many baby gifts and knows the price point of baby gifts, I think there's a great market for it. I understand your issues with not being able to just come up with that money. Right. So the question is to get a prototype, to make this actually a viable something that she can show. Is there somewhere in Louisville that someone would help her in an early stage like this for minimal dollars? I mean, I don't know if that exists. Does that exist here?
In this day and age, the predecessor to a physical prototype would just be, you know, a set of drawings on a computer-aided design system where you could at least visualize it, and that would be less expensive than creating the physical prototype. That's probably your next step.
You do that and have a prototype. I think all of us would be interested in looking at it again.
Yeah, I love baby products.
At the early stage now, I'm out.
Again, you've got the right idea here. So take this now to the engineer and let them work through your idea here. But as Darren said, it's just too early for us at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say, to me, it's a great concept that may or may not be the best design. It's a good starting point. You probably need to have a few iterations, a few different test models of the design before you finalize on something. But you know, I agree with Darren that that's the way to start. And I'm out. Sorry.
Thank you.
Tony, any thoughts?
No, I think you've identified a need, but I have to agree with everyone else on just not quite there yet.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
There's still much more to come right here on Dream Funders, including a hunter turned inventor.
But I'm telling you, it's going to sell.
Will his big idea hit the mark with our investors?
It's up to you.
And bling on a budget.
It's just glitz and glam.
Will this idea have our funders talking or walking?
Luxurious sounds expensive. How much money are you looking for?
Find out next on Dream Funders. Welcome back to Dream Funders. I'm Melissa Fraser, coming to you from the top floor of the Fraser History Museum in downtown Louisville. The museum showcases innovation throughout centuries of American and world history.
One of the real amazing things about the Fraser History Museum is that, first of all, we build these exhibits. We have people, we have carpenters who actually build the exhibits from scratch. These things aren't shipped in from another community. They don't travel around the country. We build them from scratch, and they cover a whole lot of area. We cover 20,000 square feet here just on the third floor alone. And then we have performers, actors who act out people of that era.
Like two girls.
We have Teddy Roosevelt's Big Stick here at the Fraser History Museum. It's an amazing piece, and we tell that story through an enslaved guide that took him on the bear hunt. They actually tied the bear up for him and had it ready for him to shoot because he wasn't having a whole lot of luck, and he passed on that. He said it wouldn't be sporting to do that. A local toy company jumped on that, and that created what is modernly known as the teddy bear.
And today at the Fraser, we're hoping to bring a new business plan to life. Let's see if we can make a match.
Well, hello, gentlemen. My name is Shay K. Woolfolk. I am the CEO, founder, and dreamer of Kimberly Shoe Designs, based here in Louisville. And as you can see, I create artwork for your feet. Now I know it's a panel of men, and I'm selling ladies' shoes, so this is going to be a little tough. So let's see if I can convince you guys. Kimberly Shoe Designs has always been a passion, and I always say it's kind of therapeutic for me. I started doing it when I became ill, and the realization was I couldn't wear the shoes I wanted. I loved high heels, but I had to wear low heels at that time. My mom, she had 2 artificial hip implants, same thing. So it was kind of born out of necessity. I started creating shoes for women in the church, people I'd run into, and kind of did it as a hobby for a few years. 2015, decided to make it into an official business. So I made it into an LLC, and in the last 6 months, I have grown this brand into a citywide, business. And I can honestly say, Louisville has been super supportive, and I'm just thankful for that. And my background is marketing and branding. And when I looked at the shoe, I thought, who do I market to? If you're a woman and you got some feet, I'm gonna market to you some kind of way. And I'll even get a couple of men to come in. Men love, believe it or not, about 33% of my consumer is the man. They buy them for their wives. You will be a hit in your household. You make your wife mad, come to see me. We'll get you some shoes together. I mean, we customize it. It's a complete VIP experience. You sit down with me, you tell me what you're looking for, you tell me your price point. I understand budget constraints. I've been there. I love $1,000 shoes, but I couldn't afford it. So, we'll kind of work together, we'll come up with a design, and we just start the design process. One of the great selling points for a lot of the women that have sat down with me is they've never had an opportunity to have something made just for them. So it's kind of like being in a, couture design house, but I'll work within your budget. And sales have been really good. The company has grown. Brand recognition has really grown. And I'm looking forward to any input from you gentlemen, and to see, where I can take this brand, because I have goals besides this. I'm branding myself because I want this brand to be synonymous with empowerment, helping others. I want, when you come to me and you get a shoe from Shake Woolfolk, you had an experience. I made you feel special. I may give you back some self-esteem. I may just sow a positive seed into your life. But whatever it is, I want it to be an experience that you remember.
So every shoe's custom made?
Every shoe. I consider the blank shoe. I call them blanks. But every design is whatever you have in mind. And we work around. You may not know what you want when you sit down with me. Once we start conversing, I might show you some pictures and we'll come up with an idea.
So you go to the client's home?
Well, as of right now, my studio and workspace is in my home. And one of the things that I want to do with funds is secure a studio and an office space so that my clients can come. When they consult, I want them to feel like they're in Hollywood. I want them to feel luxurious. I don't want them to have to come to the house and hear my kids and the dog and the cat. So that's one of the things that I want to do. But as of right now, I'll either go to them, we may meet. I even have people who just call me and say, give me a design. And that's where we go.
Now, Shay, the whole Hollywood luxurious sounds expensive. How much money are you looking for?
I'm looking for $20,000 for 20% of the company.
It's a big idea, but will it get backing from any of our funders? We'll see if the shoe fits with our panel of investors when Dream Funders returns. I'm Melissa Fraser, back with you on Dream Funders, where we're matching local entrepreneurs with local investors. Earlier, we met Shay, who's looking for funding for her line of custom footwear and apparel.
Put them on social media and they sell like that.
She's offering big money looks without the big dollar price tag. But will our investors put their money behind her?
So every shoe's custom made?
Every shoe. I consider the blank shoe. I call them blanks. But every design is whatever you have in mind. And we work around. You may not know what you want when you sit down with me. Once we start conversing, I might show you some pictures and we'll come up with an idea.
So you go to the client's home?
Well, as of right now, my studio and workspace is in my home. And one of the things that I want to do with funds is secure a studio and an office space so that my clients can come. When they consult, I want them to feel like they're in Hollywood. I want them to feel luxurious. I don't want them to have to come to the house and hear my kids and the dog and the cat. So that's one of the things that I want to do. But as of right now, I'll either go to them, we may meet. I even have people who just call me and say, give me a design. And that's where we go.
Now, Shay, the whole Hollywood luxurious sounds expensive. How much money are you looking for?
I'm looking for $20,000 for 20% of the company.
That gets you Hollywood?
Believe it or not, I've created some businesses on budget, so I source material, and a lot of people laugh. I'm constantly having things shipped from overseas, wherever I need to save, so I can work on a budget. And a shoe, as simple as this, believe it or not, my margins are about 65%.
So what are your prices typically?
A shoe like this, believe it or not, is right at about $100. But then I have shoes that also sell for $7 or $8. That is for that woman who, she doesn't care. And those are handcrafted crystals, imported. So it's purely what my consumer needs. If you see a $1,000 shoe, but you don't have that budget, what I do is I create the concept of let's take different mediums, get that same look. And of course it's not as much time. So every shoe pretty much has a good margin left right now.
So how are you going to scale you?
I'm sorry?
How are you going to replicate yourself?
I can't replicate myself. It's just little old me doing this one shoe.
Well, you could only see so many people a day.
I know. Well, here's the thing. For me, when I look at the shoe, and the realization was I can only do so many things. I want to build a name. I want it to be worth it. When you come and sit down and you buy if you buy a $500 shoe, it's an experience. A lot of people are buying shoes, especially women, based off name alone. Hence me building myself as a brand, building my name, because eventually the realization is I'm going to have to change some price points.
Now, who makes the shoes?
The blank shoes, I source them from all over. And I even have clients, they'll bring me an old shoe. I never box them in. The price will be according. If you bring me an old shoe, then we'll price it that way.
So the value you're adding is basically decorating the shoe.
basically. This one seems to catch a lot
That
of
one
eyes.
looks like Tony to me.
Really? We'll see.
Tony can be wearing that New Year's Eve.
That shoe itself, the cost to make that was $30, and it sells for between $95 and $100. This year, my sales have been $10,000, and that's only been in the last 6 months because I've gone really hard these last 5.5, 6 months, since about June the 10th. So if I can do that in 6 months, think what I'll do in a year, and in 2 years.
Are you just doing this part-time?
About 5 to 6 hours a week, actually. Like I said, my background's marketing and branding, so I do some other things, and they're all cumulative into what I want to do with this brand and some other things.
And if you sell $10,000 worth of shoes, what are your costs?
I can probably get costs around about $2,000. I keep things very minimal. Example, when I want to get stones, I realize it takes a while for them to get here from overseas. So I order months in advance, and what most people pay hundreds for, I may only pay $2 or $3 for.
So how do you communicate to the manufacturer what the design is?
To my client?
No, to whoever manufactures the shoe.
I do.
How do you design
I
it?
do it. The design is here. I buy the blank shoe. My design is here. So that's
you put it together.
right. So I talk with the consumer, but having software where I could put the visuals, that would make it much easier for the consumer. Not so much for me, but for them. It's kind of an ego stroke to have a pair of shoes nobody else has. For women, you guys. and you'll be surprised, the men that come, they'll buy the shoe, they get kudos. I had a gentleman buy some the other day. We put his wife's name on it. He delivers them at the hair salon. Every woman in there clapped for him. He was just a hero that day. So, it is an ego thing, and she knew no one else was going to have the shoe. So that's one of the selling points.
I just don't know anything about this business. I don't think I could be helpful to you, so unfortunately I have to be out.
I understand.
Yeah, I love your spirit too, but you probably picked the wrong crowd. But for me, the problem is you just can't scale yourself. So I'm out.
Right now, it's going to be a limited. You get an upside. The upside, the limit of the business is how many pairs of shoes that you can make out of your house, right? And there's only so many of those.
Yeah, there's only one of me, and I totally, I thought about that, and it's not. I'm always open to new avenues. So thank you.
Yeah, the other thing is, I think you just need a lot more money. The valuation is great at $100,000, but I think you need to put a lot more money into it and think about your brand a little bit more.
Thank you. I just had a free business class. Thank you. But I appreciate the input, and I definitely will take all those into consideration. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. And I'm going to take my shoe back, though.
There's still much more to come right here on Dream Funders. Next, meet a dreamer who hopes to make big bucks by making it easy for hunters to get their big bucks back to camp.
I'm a disabled veteran, and I was having a hard time hunting. I came across a UTV. Do y'all know what that is? UTV is basically what this is, a Ranger. That's a Ranger, a Polaris Ranger. And I put a rail system on the top of it with rollers, using the front winch to pull the cable over, tip the bed, and use the front winch to lift weight up. And like I said, I'm a disabled veteran. I was really having trouble, and it's helping me out.
So John, is the problem if pulling a deer onto the bed of the truck? Is that the issue?
Yeah, yes, sir. It's 3 foot up. The
Yeah.
first one I got, and I used it, was 215 pounds. I don't think nobody my age can do it, and I think young people are going to have a problem too. But what the problem is getting game, putting in your UTV or your side by side and taking it up. This product, what it does is it helps older people, disabled people, people that hunt through the week can hunt by themselves. You go, and the last 2 deer I harvested, I drove straight to, backed it up, got a rope, put on my cable, brought it right up. It'd sit right there, put the cable right over, and it went right up, and I was gone. It works great. It's gonna sell. I'm telling you right now. There's a lot of older hunters that hunt, and they try to keep hunting.
What's their solution now?
Some of them don't hunt. Some of them hunt maybe one time a season. Some of them don't have nobody to hunt with them. I had a buddy that was 75 years old. He didn't shoot a buck because it was late at night and didn't have nobody to help him bring it out.
So legally, you have to pick it up.
Well, you can drag it out. That's the worst thing to do, but you can drag it out. But the best way is to haul it out. Do any of y'all hunt?
Not me.
Okay. Any of y'all play golf?
Play golf.
Okay, if you play golf and you had a product that would make you swing like you did in, let's say, when you were 20, when you're 75 years old, would you buy it for $350?
That's a good analogy.
It's an overhead cable lift assist. That's what I call it. The cable runs from the front here, goes up to this roller, hits the middle one, comes to the back one, and goes down.
Is it designed to work on any ATV?
That's what I have.
Now, you used the word UTV. What's a UTV?
Utility terrain vehicle. ATV is all-terrain vehicle. That's smaller ones, 4-wheel with one person. These are UTVs, and they're built for 2 people or 4 people. This is the front view of it where it comes off. I put a new roller right down at the bottom, went up. The roller at the bottom clears the grill and the hood. This is one of the drawings I turned in for my patent. I have a patent pending on it.
When did you file the patent application?
October 1st this year.
Who's the patent attorney?
Say again?
Did you have someone research it? Does your patent attorney feel like there's no patents out there? Or
I searched it, I looked, there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. I looked for 2 weeks.
Did your patent attorney search it?
I didn't get an attorney. I went to LegalZoom.
Oh, you did it yourself?
I didn't have the money for an attorney.
All right.
What I want to do is, market them over the internet, go to hunting expos, make it where somebody can put it on themselves. Bolts and nuts, not weld, not, you don't have to drill anything, just bolts and nuts. Okay, this one right here, this is a 55-gallon barrel that I put water in, put a tie-down strap on it, and
So do you have an electric winch?
yes, on the front.
Powered by what?
The battery,
So you wire it to the battery of the vehicle?
yes.
Hey, John, first of all, thank you for your service. Second, do most of the ATVs or the UTVs, don't they mostly come with a winch already on them? Or
No, you have to buy them.
So with your product, you don't have, you're using the winch that's already
Yes,
there.
yes.
And will you sell it with the winch as well?
I could. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. To me, they're too high. You can get a cheap one at Harbor Freight, for $50, $70.
So the product you're going to sell for $350, is that right?
Yes.
$350. How much cost are you going to have in that product?
The cost to make it's about $100. I figure to make $250.
And where would you make it?
Well, my $250,000 I'm going to get from you all is going to start my business. That's the whole thing. Insurance, vehicles, 5 employees, liability insurance, everything. I predict to make $250 off each one.
So you're planning to make them yourself?
The first year I may contract it out. I have 2 contractors I'm looking at. I have another guy making my prototype. The one that was here is the homemade one. My buddy made fun of it. He goes, it looks homemade. Well, it is. I made it in my garage. Come on, give me a break.
What do you think? Will this be the next big thing? Find out what our funders have to say about it when we come back to the Fraser History Museum on Dream Funders. Welcome back to Dream Funders, a matchmaking show that's all about business. Hopefully matching big ideas with big bucks. I'm Melissa Fraser, inside the Fraser History Museum in downtown Louisville. Earlier, we met John Thompson, who pitched his idea to help aging or handicapped hunters with a device to hoist heavy game into the back of UTVs.
I'm a disabled veteran, and I was having a hard time hunting. I came across a UTV. Do y'all know what that is? UTV is basically what this is, a Ranger. That's a Ranger, a Polaris Ranger. And I put a rail system on the top of it with rollers, using the front winch to pull the cable over, tip the bed, and use the front winch to lift weight up. And like I said, I'm a disabled veteran. I was really having trouble, and it's helping me out. Even if I have to pay $200 to get it made, making $150, I would still make that. In the real world now, that's what the numbers say.
Now, I could almost believe that you could have $100 in just parts, just in material.
Yes, $100, right.
But then you've got a lot of labor, right? You've got labor, you've got packaging, you've got labels, you've got instructions, you've got
Cost to distribute.
But another thing is I have a guy that's doing that right now. If you buy the metal in bulk, you get cheaper. If you get a contractor to do X amount of numbers, you get it cheaper. And you're right, I probably don't have the packaging deal in there. But I looked at that as being my 25% of running the company.
But your idea, it's a good product. It's a great idea. And I think it goes beyond hunting as well. I think you could use it for logging, for picking up whatever it is, right? But the question is, how do you go to market? What's your thoughts on how you take this to market? Are you going to take it to the dealers of the Polaris and the UTVs, or do you take it to the OEM itself, or do you take it and partner with a winch manufacturer?
What I'm trying to do now is get it started. When I get it started, I'm going to advertise. This comes out every year, and everybody's got to have one to know what hunting season is. Kentucky Afield comes out, and Kentucky Afield there, I'm going to market there and to expos and on the web. And, you know, I don't know. I think it's going to sell.
But if you go to the show in January and you get 200 orders, how do you produce them?
Tell them they'll be done in 8 weeks, have it all done. And then if you get it in, let's say 4 or 5 weeks, they're, hooray, it's great. He's great. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And go there, go to that one, get the orders over there, have a website. I've already started a website, haven't had it done. Start a website, put it out there, and then do the website and the expos, and then advertise in hunting magazines.
So what's the offer for the $250,000?
You tell me.
Is that what you're looking for, 250?
250.
Okay.
I like the flexibility there.
John, walk us through
100%.
that again, what you'll do with the 250?
That's rent, insurance, vehicle, trailer, 5 employees at $12 an hour for 40 hours to, 54 weeks. What else is it?
But John, that sounds like you're gearing up, kind of assuming you're going to be successful. Why wouldn't you just try to make 100 of them, go to a show?
Prove the concept.
If you sell 500 of them, then you really got something.
Well, one thing about it is when you go to these shows, they may not have a Polaris Ranger. What I have to do is I got to take that Polaris Ranger copy of it, put it on another vehicle, and get it done. In that 8 weeks, I could get that done. And I could turn around and do like Yamaha Mule or whatever they are, or Viking, turn around and do that.
But you need to have a product in one shipping container that's flexible enough to match all those. You got to design that up front.
Well, just like the length and the heights are the same, there's just a little bit of difference in between the angle of where they go. And what I'll be doing is having plates. There'll be plates that are bolted on with U-bolts. and bolted on where somebody else can do it. And different plates are going to be for different models.
Makes sense.
Ideally, this will help aging or handicapped hunters, was your initial concept. Can they self-install this?
Yes,
or will they
that's
have
what
to take it somewhere else to have it installed if they have those limitations already?
Well, if they have the limitations already, they probably could get somebody to do it, or go to the dealer and get them to do it, buy it from us, and then they would charge them $64 an hour to put them on. The way I'm looking at it is by the time I get my name out there, get who did this, because a patent doesn't mean anything. Somebody's going to copy it, somebody's going to go do everything else. If I can get my name out there, get my product, yeah, I'm attached to this, and then I get going. Then if Polaris comes up and says, hey, we want to buy that, there you go. There's your...
How confident are you that no one else has done something similar?
I looked 2 weeks on the internet. I looked everywhere. I went on the patent website and did that, looked at everything. Now the only competition I have is this right here. This one right here throws the harvested animal up on top, which it doesn't balance out. This one right here goes on the back, and the only thing it does is come down like this and hook it, and you drive off. And they can just lift 350. And they have a winch right here with a piece of metal goes across there and there for 550. The one right there, you have to assemble in the field. I don't think anybody wants to assemble anything in the field. They want to get it and get out.
John, I love to be able to help you, especially being a disabled vet. I think we all appreciate the service of you and all veterans.
That's okay.
And I'm not really a hunter, and I don't really understand it as well as I'd like to, but I do have some advice for you. I think the patent, I think you're overlooking that. I think that's critical, and if you're successful, you got to believe that Polaris and everybody else is going to come out with a similar product. So my look at, my view on it is you've got an idea that you want to turn into a product that you hope to turn into a business, and that is challenging. And what I think you should do is spend a lot of effort on the patent side of it, and then try to go to Polaris or whoever and partner with those guys and try to get a licensing deal with them. And they can build it if it works and if it's great, and you'll get a royalty check from them every month, and you won't have to do any of this stuff. And there's some, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know there's a free resource in Kentucky for aspiring entrepreneurs. It's something like free patent service where they'll actually, someone will look at what you're doing and give you some advice. I think you really need a patent attorney. I know that you looked at this yourself, but that's not your bailiwick. And if you had a strong patent and a prototype, maybe you could get a licensing deal out of these guys.
I went through the launch program, and it was called Vet Start. They paid for me to go to the program downtown here, and U of L and the city of Louisville was in on it. They had a patent attorney come in, and I talked to her, and she said it takes about 7 years and $35,000 to get your patent all the way through. I don't have that money.
Sure, it does take a long time to get the patent approved. What you need is someone to research the universe and know that there isn't a competing patent out there. That's what's more valuable at this juncture. It's for Polaris to look at that. I've got a neighbor who's a patent attorney, and he tells me all the time of these stories of people who go to these big companies thinking they've got an idea that's unique, and then it gets ripped off.
It's going down the road. It's going down the road, and it's going to fly. I'm telling you, I've been there. Old guys, fat guys that are going out in the woods that can't hardly breathe would pay $350 for something like that. And I even looked up, heart attacks on hunters. There are three times more to have a heart attack than getting shot by a stray bullet. Or even 3 times more to have a heart attack hunting than it is working out. So I know that, I've been there too.
seems like an interesting product, and I would go to the shows next door and get some.
Okay. And the rest of y'all gonna buy, right?
Well, yeah, and I'll jump in here. Look, and I've sold products like this, not this particular product, but into the OEMs and into aftermarket, and I know the channel challenges that you're going to have here. And I don't think it's ready to be invested in yet, but I'm happy to work with you and help you.
Okay,
You know,
thank you.
outside of this. But my fear with you going to the show is that, to Darren's point, and I've seen it happen, somebody's going to copy it or see it at the show. They're going to be so interested in it, they're going to spend all day with you asking you all about this product. The whole time, they're trying to figure out how to copy that. I'd much rather have a real path to market. We take it to a Polaris, we take it to a winch company, and we try to work out an arrangement that way. That to me is the right way to go here. It's just got to get further a little along the development path, and then I think you're there.
Okay.
So Doug, are we hearing that you're willing to talk further
Yes,
with John here?
Be happy to help you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we had some great feedback, some great questions, a great idea, a lot of passion for this product, and it sounds like we've got a success story at the end here.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Dream Funders. On behalf of all of the funders, the dreamers, and the whole crew behind the scenes, I'm Melissa Fraser, and we'll see you next time on Dream Funders.